Royal Enfield Himalayan, a bike that actually started its life as India's most affordable ADV, a bike that actually fulfilled the dreams of many Indians who wanted a versatile motorcycle in a budget. However, the journey of the Himalayan was not an easy one in the beginning. Many owners reported the poor build quality of the bike, after which it faced a lot of criticism. Thankfully, Royal Enfield took all of that criticism constructively, and hence the Himalayan got better and better with each update. So the BS6 Royal Enfield Himalayan is in Express Drive's long-term fleet for over 4 months now, and in this review, I am going to tell you how has the journey been so far along with the issues that we faced. But before going ahead, please subscribe to our Express Drive's official YouTube channel if you still haven't, and click that little bell so that we can send you some interesting content right on your phone. By now, we have spoken endlessly about why we like the design of the Himalayan, and despite the fact that the design is purely simple, functional and not so fancy, how the bike still manages to look absolutely great. Well, it is one of the best examples of function over form. Don't you think so? So now, let's jump straight onto the performance part. First, the numbers. So the BS6 Royal Enfield Himalayan is powered by a 411cc single-cylinder air-cooled engine that is good for producing 24 HP of power and 32 Nm of torque. Transmission on this one is a 5-speed unit. One thing that is clearly noticeable on the BS6 Royal Enfield Himalayan is that the engine feels a lot smoother than before, but in the process, it has lost some of its rawness. The power delivery is quite linear, and the taller gearing makes sure that you do not need to change gears every now and then. The engine is quite tractable, and the bike doesn't mind even if you're riding in a higher gear in the city. Well, at the same time, you can ride the bike at as low as 50 km an hour in the 5th gear, and this proves out to be beneficial in cases when you're crossing a toll booth on the highways, and you can do that without the need of downshifting from the top gear. The gearshift operation is quite smooth but feels a lot clunky when you shift from first to second. It has to be noted that this is not a high revving engine, and hence the bike takes its own sweet time to proceed towards its 6,500 RPM red line. The BS6 Himalayan likes to cruise effortlessly at 80 km an hour, but can do 100 km an hour all day long as well without breaking a sweat. Compared to the BS4 model that used to hit a top speed of close to 140 km an hour, well, the BS6 model maxes out at close to 120 km an hour. The upside to this is that the fuel efficiency has gone up, and the best figure that we managed to achieve on our long-termer is 38.7 km to a litre during a Delhi to Ajmer road trip. Overall, this long-stroke engine is versatile and feels equally engaging in city as well as highways, which according to us is a very good thing. One of the best things about the Royal Enfield Himalayan that we absolutely love is its accessibility. Despite having a generous ground clearance of 220 mm, the bike has a quite low seat height of 800 mm compared to other ADVs. In order to be precise, the seat height on this one is 23 mm lower than the Hero Xpulse 200, and it is 55 mm lower than the KTM 250 Adventure. That said, even if you're someone with a height of 5 feet 5 inch or 5 feet 6 inches, you can easily ride and manage this bike no matter where you ride it. Also, with the generous proportions of this bike and the low seat height, when you actually sit on this motorcycle, you will actually feel like you are actually sitting in the lap of this motorcycle. The seating on the Royal Enfield Himalayan is very comfortable, and even if you're someone who doesn't have a sound experience of long distance touring, well, in that case as well, covering 150 to 170 kilometers in one go isn't going to be a problem on this bike. The handlebar on this motorcycle is set higher. Thanks to that, you not only sit quite upright and comfortable on this motorcycle, but this also facilitates when you have to stand on the foot pegs and ride during off-roading and over broken surfaces. The suspension on the Himalayan is set on a softer side, which means that only the impact of serious undulations reaches the rider. The Himalayan has a 21-inch wheel up front along with a 17-inch unit at the rear, and these certainly let you push the bike to its limits, And well, in the process, you will certainly feel that the bike should have gotten a bit more power. So while our prayers for a more powerful Himalayan remain unanswered, even with the new 2021 model, the bike still remains an extremely versatile motorcycle. So much so that it is still arguably the best option when you are on the lookout for a bike in close to 2 lakh rupee price bracket that can do city rides, highway runs and off-road trails with equal ease. Now, as not every product is absolutely flawless, well, same is the case with the BS6 Royal Enfield Himalayan as well. There were a couple of issues that came into the picture during our journey with our long-termer. First, after one of our enthusiastic off-road sessions, the gear position indicator on the bike started malfunctioning, and for every gear except for neutral, it just shows a simple dash. Moreover, after a few months of riding, the ABS button on the instrument cluster stopped working. That is basically used to turn the ABS on and off. Well, both these issues can be fixed at one of the company's service centers quite easily, and the most common solution is the replacement or the fixing of the respective sensors. Also, while the brakes on the BS6 model have certainly seen an improvement over the previous BS4 model, well, we still think that a better feedback at the lever and a sharper bite would have certainly made the Himalayan a much safer motorcycle. All said and done, one big question that remains even today is the Royal Enfield Himalayan a flawless motorcycle now in terms of the reliability? Well, almost. As except for a couple of minor issues, there were absolutely no problems that we faced with this bike in the last few months. And since those issues didn't even remotely hamper the basic functioning and the performance of the motorcycle, well, that's the reason why we don't see those problems as major problems, and those are such issues that can be easily fixed during your bike's next service. In the meanwhile, Royal Enfield launched the 2021 Himalayan a few days back, and for a 10,000 rupees premium, what you get is a chipper navigation, redesigned front rack and rear pillion carrier. Apart from that, you also get a redesigned seat with a better comfort and also a tinted windscreen. Stay tuned with us as we'll bring you the long-term review of the 2021 Royal Enfield Himalayan in the coming weeks to tell you if the premium is really worth it. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching.